Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome back to the Bhagavad Gita Study Circle, and we are in the 100th session of the Bhagavad Gita. So we have definitely reached a great milestone. We have traversed this path of spirituality and this wonderful knowledge that we have gained, the wisdom that we have gained from the Bhagavad Gita in the last more than 2 years now, or at least close to 2 years. We have been continuously discussing on the Bhagavad Gita. And yes, from the material perspective, 100 actually is a milestone. From the spiritual perspective, 108 is the milestone. So we are going to reach there also very soon. And many people who initially joined, they all thought that maybe this is going to be a 1 month course, or probably they thought that it's going to be a 18 session course. Many people had these different types of ideas, and they all had joined like that, thinking that it's going to be a short term course. But you see that we had mentioned this as the Bhagavad Gita study circle. It's a study that we are doing on the Bhagavad Gita. So when we talk about study, it requires actually in-depth study, and we have actually uh, gone through so many verses uh, in the Bhagavad Gita, and we have discussed in detail. So Bhagavad Gita is like that. One is the overview kind of a study that you have to do on your own by reading Prabhupada books, Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita as it is. A quick read will help you to get a overview. But then when you have a continuous study, then you understand the deeper meanings of the Bhagavad Gita. And I should really thank all of you because in the last 2 years, you have been continuously listening to me on this topic of Bhagavad Gita. Although I'm not scholarly qualified to speak on the Bhagavad Gita, but you have been very patiently listening, and actually reflects only the height of patience that you all have, because it requires a lot of determination to come so far. It's really tough to get into the philosophical understanding of the Bhagavad Gita. Not everybody reaches to this state. It's very difficult, and also it's an opportunity that I got to speak. uh, it is just a random thought that came to me, and we started this study of the Bhagavad Gita so that at least it, that was the only intention. And also, more than anybody, it also benefits me. So I thought maybe I should just start it off that way. And then uh, there are many people who may not be very active in terms of listening to the Bhagavad Gita and being here online with us. But there are many people who listen to this Bhagavad Gita offline. There are some platforms, podcast platforms. I've been posting this on Castbox and also many other Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Podbean. So it's been going across. So there are some people who have been listening to that. There are passive listeners who have been listening, and they have been subscribing to the Secret of Success channel on the podcast platforms. So idea was that we just have to start, and somehow we started this. And there were so many people who got connected, and there are few who are still listening to them. And we also have Achutanji joining us on YouTube. Hare Krishna, Achutanji, for joining. So it is, it will all be there. The thing is, when we create this Shabda Brahman, it's not our words, it is the words of Krishna. So when we create these words and we are putting them on the internet, today, tomorrow, or whenever, there will be people who will listen. At least there will be some content. Although there are hundreds and thousands of people, devotees who have been speaking on the Bhagavad Gita, but always there is something new when we hear to the Bhagavad Gita from different people. So there are some people who will resonate with each one of you. So when they also will speak in the future on the Bhagavad Gita, So his style of speaking will resonate with some people. So although the same Bhagavad Gita is spoken with so many devotees, still there is an opportunity, always a new opportunity for each one of us to actually speak on the Bhagavad Gita, and there will be people who will listen to you. This is how we should always continue this parampara of sharing the knowledge, and there is nothing more greater than actually sharing knowledge. The jnana dan, they say, it's the highest thing that we can ever do, because knowledge can transform everyone's heart. So when we constantly endeavor to do this, we will get purified, and the listener also will get purified. And this is extremely important, because the Bhagavad Gita has to reach to as many people as possible. As many people, because almost there are 8 billion people on earth now. You can imagine, compared to all these different types of people, the number of preachers, who can speak on the Bhagavad Gita are very, very few. So that's why we need to expand this network of preachers, and ensure that we try to reach more and more souls, so that they can get the highest. We are discussing the ninth chapter now. The ninth chapter is the Raj Vidya Raj Guhyam. It is the most topmost secret. It is open secret, but topmost secret. But for people to understand that topmost secret spoken in the ninth chapter, they should first listen to the first 8 chapters, because only when they digest that, then they'll be able to understand the ninth chapter properly. So that is why we need a lot of preachers who can actually take up this preaching mission, because Srila Prabhupada mission is to actually create a lot of preachers. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, that we need to have many, many devotees who can go and preach this Bhagavad Gita in every nook and corner of the world, because only then there can be peace. It's very, very difficult in Kali Yuga otherwise. And actually, when we speak about the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that anybody who speaks and shares this message, I will personally protect him. So this is how, when we preach the Bhagavad Gita, the preachers are going to be protected. Why? Because you are in the front line. We are actually, Prabhupada says, we are waging a war against Maya. So when you are waging a war against Maya, in a war there will be some frontline warriors, and then there'll be many other soldiers and warriors behind the commanders, and many people behind who are planning and strategizing, and all those people. But the preachers are the frontline warriors in this war of Maya, because you are in the front line, meeting all the different materialistic people and trying to give them the Krishna conscious philosophy. So it's not going to be so easy. You are actually in the front line and taking all the hittings from Maya. So sometimes the soldiers get injured, right? Because you are in the front line, you are taking the direct hit from the opposition. So when you are a preacher, you will actually take the hittings of Maya directly onto you. So, but then when you become injured, physically or mentally or sometimes even spiritually, Krishna and Prabhupada will protect. And Krishna also appreciates the frontliners, because you are taking the risk, that extra risk. Because Krishna, why is he taking avatara? Paritranaya sadhuna, vinachaya chadushkritam. He comes here to actually share his message. And share his message. Why? Because he wants to reclaim back many, many, many souls back to the spiritual world. He comes here to give this knowledge and make people aware of the spiritual world and take them back there. Right? His whole intention is that. So now, when you actually assist Krishna in his work, in his mission of reclaiming back the souls, oh, he's very pleased, because you are making his work very simplified. So that's why Krishna ensures that his devotees are protected, especially the frontliners are protected, because it's a war. So in a war, you need a lot of support, right? So it's not an ordinary thing, and Krishna understands this very nicely, actually, because he knows Maya is not so easy to overcome. Mama Maya Duratyaya. Himself is saying this. Mama Maya it's my Maya, but it is Duratyaya. It is very difficult to overcome. But we can overcome only when we are under his protection. And his protection we can derive only when we preach this message of the Bhagavad Gita. So we should take this very, very seriously, that any moment we get to interact with people in the world, in our society, in our community, in our neighborhood, we should talk about Krishna. We should talk about Krishna. Somewhere we should not leave, we should not hesitate that what will the other person think. No, it's not a question of what other person thinks. In fact, everyone is actually looking for Krishna. It's just that they don't know. But when you actually start talking to them about Krishna and you start preaching to them about Krishna in a small way, in a bit, whatever best way they can accept, intelligent way, then automatically that pleases Krishna. It is very special thing. This giving this message out to the people is very, very special service that anyone can do. So if you have to go and preach to the world, then you need to be philosophically sound, at least to some extent. When you are intellectually involved in understanding the Bhagavad Gita, it is very, very good, because when you read and understand and preach Bhagavad Gita, your intelligence is getting involved, engaged, and it is getting properly utilized. Because when you are using your intelligence so much in thinking about Krishna and the philosophical aspects as Krishna is told in the Bhagavad Gita, then automatically, because of that churning of your intelligence, your mind is becoming captured automatically. So a devotee need not actually struggle so much externally to do so many things to control the mind. Just when we think and contemplate all the different messages that Krishna has given in the Bhagavad Gita, the different verses that he has spoken, and contemplate on that, you churn your mind, think from different aspects and different angles. Oh, that itself, you keep your intelligence busy like this, your mind will automatically be controlled. There is no scope for getting disappointed, or because you're so busy thinking about Krishna and all his words. Somebody told you this, somebody told you that. You have actually, you become very uh, disconnected with all these kind of things. You'll not get hurt internally, you'll not get hurt, you will be very stable person. You'll not be affected by what people are thinking about you, because you are constantly so absorbed in thinking about Krishna and his words. You really don't care for what people actually talk about you. It really doesn't matter, because after a month you will forget, even they'll forget what they spoke. And after a year, forget about what they have spoken. It really doesn't matter, because you have gone through that phase, you have already come across that thing. So temporarily, when we get stuck with these small petty things, it consumes a lot of time. The most valuable time, this human form of life that we have got, we have to utilize in thinking about Krishna. So we should ensure that we don't get affected by these things, and to ensure that, the best way is you keep yourself busy in talking about Krishna, thinking about Krishna, and you see how people will connect with you. Automatically, there will be some people who will connect with you. It doesn't matter whether I'm a man or a woman. Doesn't matter. We just have to speak. We just have to speak about Krishna, and that is how it is very interesting. You will see a lot of transformation coming in you automatically, because you are representing Krishna. When you have to speak about Krishna, you are representing Krishna. And when you have to represent Krishna, then you start aligning your thoughts. You start aligning your thoughts with your words, and your words with your actions. So that becomes very nice, because when you start aligning yourself, then you become a devotee, you become a sajjana. There is very nice thing I came across. You know, there is, who is a sajjana? Sajjana means who is a devotee. There is sajjan and there is durjan. So there is a shubha, there is a nice saying. It is manasekam vachasekam. Manasekam vachasekam means sajjan is one who has one thing in the mind and the same one thing on his tongue also. So manasekam, vachasekam. And of course, manasekam, vachasekam, then automatically the karma also is ekam only. Automatically his action also is one. For Durjana also it's the same. Manasekam, vachasekam. Slight difference is there. What is that slight difference? A Durjana, manasekam, that means in mind he has one thing, vachasekam, and on the tongue he has another thing. So the mind he has one thing, and on the tongue he has another thing. So this is Durjan. There is no alignment between what he thinks and what he speaks. And if you actually think a little bit about this, see how when we align our thoughts, our words, and our actions, we become devotee. That when there is an integrity between your thoughts, your words, and your actions, then automatically we become a devotee. We will not become a devotee if our thoughts, our words, and our actions are not aligned. Because even Krishna will not trust us. Because, oh, this fellow will think something, he will say something, and he will do something. That is not what Krishna wants. The whole purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to align our thoughts, our mind, our words, and our actions. And that is how, when Arjuna aligned his thoughts, his words, and actions with what Krishna wanted, then he became a devotee. He came out of all his confusion. So similarly, the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita is to become a sajjana. Sajjana means to become a devotee by aligning all these things properly in line with what Krishna is saying. Otherwise, we will become durjana. And that is not, we don't want to become durjana. We want to become a devotee. And we want to make others devotee. And if we want to make others devotee, we have to help them align their thoughts, their words, and their actions. And they will in turn benefit so much. They will in turn benefit so much. And Krishna appreciates that. So that's why this Bhagavad Gita is a very, very serious study that we are all supposed to do. We have a lot of opportunity now. The scope of this alignment of our thoughts, our words, and our actions, it is huge. In a day-to-day life, if you can just analyze your whole day, you just think and just visualize, oh, what am I thinking, what am I speaking, and what am I doing? And you will see there is, oh my God, there is so much of disalignment here. I mean, I'm thinking something, I want to do something, but I'm not able to do something, but I'm speaking something. All this confusion is there. And as long as this alignment is not there, we'll not be happy. We'll only be struggling to be happy. See, this is a simple formula actually. It's a simple formula. And the purpose of Bhagavad Gita is this, that when we align, then our flow of bhakti towards Krishna is very natural. It's very spontaneous. When we want to love Krishna and we want to serve Krishna in that loving devotional service attitude, it is possible when we have this proper alignment of our thoughts, our words, and actions. So, in a day to day life, even our regular dealings with the people, if you our thoughts, our words, and our actions are totally disarrayed, we have to align them. And actually, when we have a proper integrity between these three, you will see that Prabhu, you people will actually, they will listen to everything that you say. People will see that, oh, this person is, he's walking the talk. Listen, walk the talk. So Prabhupada was like that. Prabhupada, whatever he thought, he spoke. Whatever he spoke, he did. That is a pure devotee. And that is why whatever he told to his disciples, they followed. Why? Because they knew that Prabhupada's, so his strong sense of integrity between his consciousness is there. So when we see this strong sense of integrity in a person, automatically we know that this person is not ordinary person. To become like that, Prabhupada wanted each one of us to actually become a devotee who can actually align our thoughts, our words and actions with what Prabhupada has said and what Krishna has said. in the Bhagavad Gita. Then there is no question of fall down. The Mama Maya Duratyaya, Maya may try as much possible, whatever she can do. She may try to bring down your consciousness in different ways. But when we are so strong, we are so aligned properly, then there is no question of her actually disturbing you. You will be able to take all the hittings and beatings that she will throw at you, but you will be able to face all those difficulties, because one thing is your own integrity. Dharmo rakshita rakshita. When you protect dharma, dharma will protect you. That is Krishna's word. When you protect dharma, that means, when I protect dharma means what? Protect dharma in the sense that I follow dharma. Protect dharma means, when I follow dharma properly, I protect dharma. When I protect dharma, then that dharma itself will protect us. So, and then there is definitely an additional bonus protection that comes, that is from Prabhupada and Krishna. So that is why when people, they understand why there are certain codes in the various scriptures. You do something, you don't do something. It's only to ensure that we follow dharma properly. All these do's and don'ts are only to ensure that they bring us to the platform where we follow the dharma properly as per what the Lord has said. Then the true happiness will come, because ultimately that's what everyone is looking for. We all want to be happy, thoroughly happy, spontaneously happy, moment after moment we want to be happy. That will come only when we follow dharma. So there is a very great opportunity for all of us in this wonderful human form of life that we have got, and every moment we should try to utilize it in thinking about Krishna. And you see, there is now, when you understand these facts and you see, oh my God, there is so much that I have to do. A lot of internal work has to go, has to be done. And a lot of internal work is there for us to reach Krishna, to reach the spiritual world. All the externals will not matter. For Krishna, he is bhavagna, he is rasagna. I mean, not me. I mean, I'm just saying he's rasagna means he actually enjoys the devotee's bhava. That's why his another name is rasagna, because he sees what is the different taste that you have for him. So there is a lot of internal work that is required. That process of internal cleansing, our cleaning the consciousness, will really attract Krishna towards us. That purification is very, very important, and that purification comes by devotional service, by properly hearing Shravanam, then Kirtanam, association of devotees. All these different processes are mentioned. But today, we should take a strong, that vow that yes, I will follow, no matter what, I will follow dharma properly, and I will try to align all my internal things, my thoughts, my action, my words, as per Krishna's words. You see amazing things coming in. Many times we are so confident about, oh, I will do it. Instead of thinking that, okay, I will do it, something externally, you just think about the internal thing. Okay, I will do it. What is that? I will do it. I will do this as per what Krishna has told. Okay, Prabhuji has told, okay, let's follow. Let's Prabhupada has told, let's follow. Let's Krishna has told, okay, let's follow. When you do these things, then there is amazing thing that will happen. Very special things that will happen. So we have a lot of work to do before this life ends. We have to do a lot of work. Why I'm saying this? Because I just realized just last week, on 13th, one of my school friend, he passed away with lung cancer. I was just thinking, one person, we were together and we spent so many good moments in our life, and suddenly gone. And just imagine, at this young age, he just left with, wife and children, two sons, gone all of a sudden. And I was thinking now, he did everything possible, best materially speaking. He worked hard and he got everything for his family, everything he did. but then life is gone. So life is so temporary. And where did we get a chance to perfect our life in that small time? We could not. Still, somehow, he was a Christian actually. He was a Christian. He used to come to temple every time, yearly he used to keep even Ganapati at his home, although he was a Christian. So he most of his he had no parents since childhood. He had no parents. Most of the time he used to spend in our homes. We were very close, like brothers. We were like that. But he's gone today. So I was just thinking, life is so short. And then it dawned upon me also that I can't waste much time now. It's very important. We have to take up this very very seriously. We need to become even more intense in our devotional activities and focus, uh, and then gain the highest perfection. Otherwise, what's the destination? There's no point in coming back again here after knowing so much, after struggling so much, after repeated, getting, embarrassed in this material world in so many different ways. There is no question of again coming back to this world. We should really think seriously about this and get out of this place, because there is a wonderful world which is waiting for all of us. A great world is waiting for all of us. So that's the point that I just wanted to share. Few things about some realistic things about what we have uh, facing in this world. At the same time, the importance of the Bhagavad Gita, since it is material speaking 100th session, 108 will be auspicious, more auspicious for all of us. We'll discuss some more important things about life. Of course, every session is important, but then just this number sometimes, we feel special about these numbers. So 100, 108, 1008, something special about these. So, and we have Kaushik also joining us. So we have studied up till 27th verse and partially. So let us continue from where we have left. A little more discussion we will have on that particular verse. So Dev, you can unmute yourself and let's chant the next verse. Before, let me take this off so that you'll be able to hear.
Prabhuji, pranam mantras.
Correct. Good, you reminded me. So let's dedicate this session to His Divine Grace, His Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, our dear spiritual master. And let's begin with the pranam mantras. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Avadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। Hare Krishna. So let's chant the 27th verse. Dave, you can unmute yourself. Yat karoshi yadashnasi
Yat karoshi yad ashnasi
yajjuhoshi dadasi yat
yad juhosi dadashi yat
yat tapasyasi kaunteya
yat tapasyasi kaunteya
yat kurushva madarpanam.
tat kurushva madarpanam.
Once again, yat karoshi yadashnasi
Yat karoshi yad ashnasi
yajjuhosi dadasi yat
yad juhosi dadashi yat
yat tapasyasi kaunteya
yat tapasyasi kaunteya
yat kurushva madarpanam.
tat kurushva madarpanam.
Wonderful. Please read the translation.
Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So it's very interesting here. We have understood a little bit of this in the previous session. We discussed about Yat Karoshi, right? So in Yat Karoshi, we understood there are four types of karma. There is Nitya karma, there is Naimittika karma, there is Nishiddha karma, and then there is also Kama karma. So, Nitya karma is basically our day to day activities which are supposed to be done without any compromise, like taking bath in the morning, that's a Nitya karma. Nitya karma. Chanting every day the holy names is the Nitya karma. You are doing a deity worship, you are offering food to the Lord, it's all Nitya karma. Naimittika karma is like some festivals that come up, fasting on Ekadashi. These are all Naimittika karma. On a certain special occasions, you actually do this particular thing. Like Shraddha, you perform these things. So these are all Naimittika karma. And then there are Kami karma. Kami karma is optional. If you want to do it, you do it. If you don't do it, it's okay, no problem. You will never incur sin for not doing Kami karma. See, this classification also is so important because that helps us to then prioritize whether I should do Nitya karma, Naimittika karma, or I should do Kamya karma. Many people sometimes they become so absorbed in Kamya karma, they think that it is spiritual and they're going to get benefit out of it. And they compromise on Nitya and Naimittika karma. But that's not going to help because if you compromise on Nitya and Naimittika karma, then you will actually incur sin. So, Kama karma is optional. Nishidha karma is something that we are not supposed to do at all. We have to completely avoid doing these things because they are not in line with the scripture. So, we avoid all this Nishidha karma. So, that is yet karoshi. Krishna is saying that whatever you do, these karmas, different kind of activities, especially the Nitya karma and your Naimittika karma, you do it for my pleasure. You do it for my satisfaction. You offer those things to me, oh Arjuna. Just offer all these things. Your actions completely offer to me. See, again, Krishna is what is he saying here now? You align your actions. He's trying to align our actions. By saying this, why is this? Because he wants us to align our actions to what he wants us to do. So very important, isn't it? And then you see, whatever you eat, yadashnasi. Now eating is a it's also a nitya karma. Every day we eat. Without eating, we cannot stay. So it's a very important activity that we do every day. So why not offer that to Krishna and eat as prasadam? Why when we eat bhoga, directly taking from the market and eating it, it's sinful. But the same thing when you perform yagna, in the sense, when you take the food and you offer to Krishna first and then you eat it as prasadam, that purifies us. So eating is so important thing. But just by, you know, if you can just align your eating, that means if I just eat prasadam alone, if I take that decision today, yes, I will take prasadam alone in my life. I will not eat anything other than prasadam. Oh, what a life it will be. You will attain perfection just by eating. You will get liberation only by eating. That's possible. Actually, it is possible. If you want to get liberation from this material world, you can actually get liberation just if you strictly follow this one principle of eating. That is, I will eat as much as I want. If you, even if your foodie doesn't matter, but if you want to eat, but if you just want to offer it to Krishna and then eat, you will attain perfection. That is for sure. This Krishna is telling, I'm not telling. This is what Krishna is saying. You will attain perfection by eating. What a special thing it is. I mean, foodies will really like it. It's so easy part, to get liberated. It is so easy. Everyone will like it. So actually, it is a fact. There is a very nice story. There is a nice story of Ranti Deva, a very nice king, a devotee king, which is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Ranti Deva. So this king, once he left everything, okay, the whole kingdom, along with this, his family, his children, he came out of the forest. He gave up everything and he took a vow that 48 days I will not eat any food. Along with the family and everybody, children, they all came and they are doing this tapasya, chanting the holy names and not eating anything. 48 days, he said, I will not eat anything. And 48 days were getting over. At that time, you know, the Devatas and everyone, they thought that, oh, this person is hungry, he's doing such a great tapasya. So we should offer him some food now. Can you imagine? The Devatas are thinking that we should now take some prasadam for him, and everybody in the Devaloka are so concerned about this person. And it's a fact, actually. The Lord, who has, he's the supreme master, but when he sees his devotees doing tapasya like this, not eating anything for pleasing him, the most concerned person is the Lord. When we are all fasting, don't think that, oh, it's been unobserved, nobody is seeing me whether I'm fasting or not. The Lord is one who's actually seeing all of us. And He is highly concerned about you when you're fasting, because He's thinking, oh, this devotee, to please me, he's fasting. I created this whole Srishti so that I can maintain this soul. You see, we are to have this sharira, what they call it as sharira yatra. We are doing this sharira yatra. For this sharira yatra, we need food. Otherwise, without food, how will you actually travel in this body? So, for giving fuel to this body, the Lord has created so many things, and you are actually giving up that itself. You are neglecting the Lord's creation. The Lord becomes very concerned, just like a mother. When the child is hungry, the mother is highly concerned about the child. So similarly, the Lord, when He actually sees that His devotees are fasting, not eating anything, the devotees are thinking, yes, I'll please the Lord. But the Lord is very concerned, oh, this devotee is not eating at all. Then what for I created this such a big world? He's not eating. So he becomes highly concerned. So please understand, Krishna is a very personal Lord. When you do a little tapasya, he becomes very concerned. And similarly, when this Ranti Deva had done tapasya for 48 days, not eating anything, the whole Devalaka is concerned. All the Devatas are concerned. They bought some nice prasadam for him. And moment they got nice prasadam, in a form of a Brahmana, they came and they offered nice prasadam to him. First thing he did was he remembered the Lord and he gave it to his family members, his wife and children. He fed them everybody. On the 48th day, he's feeding. He didn't think that, okay, now let me eat and then my family members will eat later. No. His first thing was he offered it to his family members who were immediately available there and he fed them properly. Seeing the Lord in his wife, seeing the Lord in his children, he first fed them. Yad Ashnasi. See, he didn't think about himself, he was thinking about others. And just when After giving food to the wife and children, when he was just about to take the food, at that time, a very, very dilapidated Brahmana, very weak Brahmana comes there. And Rantideva is thinking, oh, he's a Atiti, a Brahmana who has come now. How can I not give him and how can I eat without feeding him? So, whatever food was there, he gave it to that Brahmana. And now, after giving food to that Brahmana, that Brahmana is eating and there's no food left for Rantideva. What he had was little water. And just okay, let me think now. Okay, Brahmana has eaten. Let me just drink water. He was about to drink water, and then there comes a dog and a chandala along with the dog. The dog is very thirsty. The chandala who has bought the dog, who has come along with the dog, is also very thirsty. And now, when he was about to take water, they were like in front of him, and the dog, with the tongue outside, it is in front of him. He felt very pity on that dog and that chandala also. He said, "Okay, all right, no problem. Take this water." He gave that little water to the dog and to the chandala who had come along with them, and he just kept quiet. And then, just by seeing his wife, his children, that Brahmana who ate the food, and the dog which drank the water, the Chandala who drank water, being so satisfied, now they regained their energy. They were just by little food and that little water, all these Brahmana and the dog, they were all, they were regaining their strength. Just by seeing that, Ranti Deva, the king, became so happy. Just by looking at them, he became so happy. Can you imagine? He's not thinking about himself. 48 days straight, he was fasting. And even on the 48th day, when he gets food, he's distributing it to all, not concerned about himself. What an amazing thing it is. Just looking at this tapasya, the whole Devaloka appeared in front of him. Everybody, all the Devatas, they appeared in front of him. They said, "You have done such a tapasya, you tell what you want. We are ready to completely offer ourselves to you." Brahma, in all this dog and Chandala and all these are only different Devatas who appeared just to test him. Can you imagine? And he passed in that test. All were just testing him. 48 day, on 49th day, everybody appeared there in front of him. Sometimes the devotees are also very stubborn. Okay, I will fast. I want to see the Lord. They are so stubborn that I want to see the Lord. they are ready to fast. So devotees are like that also. They fast. I want to see the Lord. I will not eat. Lord, let him come in front of me. And all the devatas came, and they blessed him, including Brahma. So, very, very special, these devotees, when they fast. Adyadashna, see, it's not ordinary. These kind of things are not ordinary. So, when you offer everything, not eating by yourself, but you actually even seeing others getting the prasadam and just being happy by that, it is very pleasing. Very, very special. And then, whatever you offer, give away. Whatever there is something that we have additional things. We have a lot of additional things with us sometimes. You offer, but you offer it to the Lord. You have some extra food grains, you offer it to the temple, let them take, and they take and they make some prasadam and distribute it in the temple for the temple devotees. Anything like that, anything you have extra, you can actually offer it away, no problem. There were great brahmanas, when an eagle came, I forgot that name actually, the brahmana. When Indra came in the form of an eagle, in an old dilapidated eagle, he comes and he asked this Brahmana, "I want to eat flesh." This Brahmana, first he hesitated, but then later he says, "Okay, I'll give my flesh, okay, you eat my flesh." Can you imagine? They were ready to offer even their own flesh just to satisfy Atiti. Just that kind of, that system is not there today. Atiti Devo Bhava is all gone today. We cannot there is a lot of things to speak on that. We will sometime later discuss about it. But I'm just saying that whatever you have, you can offer. Something that is in your capacity, you can offer, you please offer, but offer it to Krishna. At least thinking about Krishna. So that is very important. Then whatever austerities you perform, austerities like you do Ekadashi. Ekadashi, it's for the pleasure of the Lord. You fast on certain days. That is for like Janmashtami, Vaikuntha Ekadashi. That's for the pleasure of the Lord. Without any selfish desires when we do all these things, tapasya or austerities, or for that matter, being very practical. See, we are working very hard in the companies. We take a lot of austerity. As students, we have to study and we have to burn the midnight oil, and we still have to study a lot of things. So that's an austerity. So if that austerity can be directed towards Krishna for the pleasure of Krishna, then that becomes a yoga, that becomes meditation on the Lord. So that becomes a connecting factor. Your regular materialistic work actually becomes a connecting factor so that you get connected to Krishna. You see, so nothing is left. Everything can be utilized in the service of Krishna, including your studies, including your office work, including your relationships, including everything that you do. You do it for the pleasure of the Lord. Then that becomes a connecting factor. So Krishna is exactly saying that, oh son of Kunti, as an offering to me, you do all these things as an offering to me. Why don't we offer? You know, when you get some new clothes, offer it to Krishna. You get some nice food stuff, you offer it to Krishna. Because when you get new clothes and when you wear them, you know, when you wear new clothes, you know, you automatically, there is some sort of that effulgence or that beauty, or it enhances our looks or whatever it is. Why that happens? Because you're wearing a new cloth. That cloth, that ability for a cloth to make you appear beautiful is possible because there is that splendor of Krishna in that cloth. Otherwise, it's not possible. You wear some jewelry and you look beautiful. Why? Although it is material, it's you are able to enhance your, your appeal to people. It's possible because the jewelry has a splendor of Krishna. So when you start thinking like that, oh, my jewelry is actually a splendor of Krishna. My clothes, which are new now, they are also a splendor of Krishna. So actually, it is true, because how can something be material that can make you appear beautiful? It's not possible. Only when there is an amsha, the splendor of Krishna is there, that thing becomes beautiful. Otherwise, it is not possible. So this is a fact, and philosophically it is truth. When you, as a devotee, analyze that, okay, I'm wearing this, and somebody comes, oh, you're looking very good. This dress looks so nice on you. Oh, immediately you should understand that, oh yes, actually Krishna is there in this dress. The splendor of Krishna is there in this dress. That's why I'm able to. You say this to yourself, if not to the other person, at least to yourself, you should be convinced that, oh yes, it is because of Krishna I'm appearing like this. That is an offering to Krishna. That is what Krishna is saying. That is an offering that you should do. So when that appreciation comes from people for wearing something or doing something or for creating anything, when that appreciation comes from people, and when you know at the background that yes, it is possible only because of Krishna's presence, when you recognize, when they recognize you, and in turn you recognize Krishna, that is an offering to Krishna. And that is what Krishna is saying here. Please offer everything to me. So then our life becomes very beautiful. When we recognize Krishna in every aspect of our life, even in the recognition that we get from people, that becomes an offering to Krishna, and that makes our life very, very peaceful and happy. Simple way of being happy. This is the simplest formula if you want to be happy. So, this is Krishna consciousness. What is Krishna consciousness? This is Krishna consciousness. That means any action that you perform, anything that you eat, anything that you wear, anything that tapasya you do, anything that you do, you're always conscious of Krishna. So much conscious of Krishna that you have nothing else to think. And there's a beautiful pastime. I think with this, I will end the session today. Once Narada, he was so eager to see Krishna. And he went to Dwarka to see Krishna. And when he went there to see Dwarka, he was somehow trying to find Krishna. And then he goes there, and when he enters the bedroom of Krishna, he says there is Krishna and Arjuna. Arjuna is also there. And to his astonishment, he sees that Arjuna Both are sleeping. Krishna and Arjuna both are sleeping. And Arjuna has put his leg on the chest of Krishna. Narada is like wild. "Hey, what is this Arjuna doing? He's the supreme lord, and this fellow has put his leg on Krishna." And then somehow he's trying to wake up Krishna, and Krishna wakes up and then asks him, "Narada, what is this? At the middle of the night, you are here. Why have you come here?" Narada says, "My lord, I wanted to see. I was so eager to see you. I just came here. And see this Arjuna, what is he doing? He has kept his leg on your chest. How is this?" Then Krishna becomes wild and, "Narada, please, you have come here, you saw me, now you go. You don't interfere. We were sleeping. Why did you come and disturb us?" "No, my lord, you see this Arjuna, what is he doing? He's kept it. This is offensive. How can he offend you like this? You're the supreme lord." "He has not offended me." "No, my lord, how is he not offended you?" Then Krishna says, "Okay, you want to understand?" He tells Narada, "You go and touch Arjuna's body anywhere you want. Touch, you'll understand." And then when Narada goes and he touches the hand of Arjuna, he hears there is a sound emanating from Arjuna's body. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Narada touches the head of Arjuna. He hears again Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. He touches his leg. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Wherever he is touching, he's only hearing Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So when Arjuna was sleeping, even in that deep sleep, his whole body, every cell of his body is only thinking about Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Narada understood that how deeply Arjuna is so deeply connected to Krishna. He's so Krishna conscious that even in the deep sleep, he's only thinking about Krishna. So, why? Because Arjuna has heard this verse directly. Yat karoshi, yat ashnasi, yat juhosi, dadati yat. See, Arjuna has perfectly heard this verse and perfectly followed this verse. All the time, he was only thinking about Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness. This is complete offering ourselves to Krishna. That is a devotee. We will become Sajjana just by doing this. We will not become Durjana. No question of being a Durjana when we align ourselves like this. Isn't it? So Arjuna is the greatest example of being a perfect devotee like this in Krishna consciousness and following this verse. And similarly, we should also become a great devotee or at least try to follow in the footsteps of Arjuna. So that becomes a very special thing for all of us. Okay, so all right, thank you once again for joining and patiently listening because it's not just that one session you have been listening to me, but you have been listening to me for close to 2 years now. And like I told you earlier, it really reflects the height of your patience, and I really appreciate and thank all of you for being so patient to listen to me and understand this Bhagavad Gita and come along with me in this journey of understanding this wonderful wisdom of Bhagavad Gita. So I really appreciate because when there is a study, that study is more enjoyable only when there is a group of people. So we, although it's a small group of people, but then there is that interaction that happens because there is a listener, there is a speaker, and when we are interacting like this about Bhagavad Gita, it makes our life perfect. So I think that is most important thing. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask. Thank you once again.
Prabhuji, I know you have told this before, but can you explain the meaning of Sanatan Dharma again?
Yeah. So first thing is the word Sanatana. The word Sanatana means that it is eternal. And dharma means the, as per what Prabhupada defines, is the unchanging quality of any substance, you know, something that you cannot take it out of that particular substance. So that is dharma. For example, the dharma of sugar is sweetness, the dharma of water is that fluidity. You cannot separate that inseparable quality of a particular substance is the dharma of that substance. So, in substance, we are spirit souls. So, when we are spirit souls, as spirit souls, we have that inseparable quality. And that inseparable quality of a soul is to serve and to love. Just like fire, it has inseparable quality, that there is uh, heat and light cannot be separated. They are constantly there. So, similarly, just like heat and light cannot be separated from fire, the soul has inseparable qualities of to serve and to love. So, Sanatan Dharma means my eternal duty, my dharma, is to serve and love the Supreme Lord. So, that is Sanatan Dharma. And Achyutanji says in the comments, he says that 2 years, 7 months of eternal knowledge, Prabhuji. Oh my God, you kept the. I was actually thinking, oh, how many years over or how many months over, but you actually pinpointed this. Good, and thanks for giving me this info. It's been more than 2 years now. Oh my God. I was just thinking it is 2 years, but it is 2 years, 7 months. Okay, thank you for being so precise and giving that exact answer. Thank you. So nice.
Prabhuji, it was started in COVID, when the lockdown hit. That was March 2020. Now it's almost going to be 2023. So I don't know if it was March, but it was around that time. So it's almost 3 years now.
No, I think it was before COVID, I guess. Okay, I don't know.
Then there'll be 3 years
A little
almost.
before COVID, I think. A little before COVID. Yeah. Okay, but it is nice that it is Achyutanji knows that it is 2 years, 7 months. But oh, and we are some of you must be thinking, oh, we are still just in ninth chapter. So it really requires a lot of patience, to be in this slow snail-like pace that we are going. But what to do? It is like this. Its study is like that. So it doesn't matter
Yeah.
really. So if we just
Prabhuji, we should be thanking you for keeping up with us for so long.
No, it is both ways. It goes both ways actually, because it really requires a lot of uh, planning and that determination to always be able to speak, and at the same time, all of you also to um, constantly come back and hear. So it takes a lot of determination, and this is appreciated. This is a tapasya in itself. That's why whatever austerities you perform. So this is an austerity of speaking and austerity of hearing. Shravanam and Kirtan. So this austerity is helping all of us. See, although we are just discussing and studying, but you see the kind of transformations that have taken in our own life. There are a lot of things that have happened in the last 2 years. You consciously try to note down all these things. That's why I had told you earlier also, you should have a notebook, a diary where you note all these reciprocations of the Lord. And you will see, oh my God, Lord has reciprocated in so many beautiful ways in our life. So at least at the back of, at the point of death, when we just look at this diary and just read, oh, you will feel so satisfied that yes, there was Lord who was completely involved in my life. He was taking charge of my life. So that is very essential. So all this is only helping us to gradually become nice devotees. So this is important, and I really appreciate all of you for heart. From within my heart, I appreciate all of you for being so patiently listening to this and continuing to listen. It's very nice, very special. Not everybody comes to this point. It is really, uh, you know, a blessing that somebody, even few of you, but to get an audience to listen to this kind of philosophical stuff, it's not so easy. So thank you for being here. And thank you, Kaushik, although he's very far physically, but then he's always connected in some way or the other. So that also, uh, Krishna knows how to connect people. So nice. If anybody sincere, Krishna connects. That is there. And Achyutanji is saying May 2020 is what we started. Oh, okay. So it was May 2020. So it's almost 21, 22. Oh, it is May 2020. Oh, yes. Then you're right, actually. It is COVID. After COVID. Yeah, correct. Exactly. Oh, yes. I remember. Yeah. The physical classes were stopped, and I started doing this online session after the COVID started. Exactly. Yes, you got it right. It was May 2020. Oh, it makes it 2 years, 7 months. Great, wonderful. We have come a far distance in understanding, and we have still, we just came halfway through Bhagavad Gita. We have still long way to go. and hopefully Krishna will give us this opportunity to complete the Bhagavad Gita, and this will be a great yajna. So I think after on the day we complete the Bhagavad Gita, we should all assemble together and complete it physically, and we'll have a nice feast, isn't it? So we'll have a big program and we'll complete it that way, in a big way. So that will be really nice. So good then. So all of you, please take care, and we'll meet again next Sunday. Until then, take care. Thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna to Jandi, and Hare Krishna Vinodji for joining on YouTube. Hare Krishna. Thank you.